Hey there, everybody in Flyerland, and most importantly, the National Hockey League. The National Hockey League schedule will resume this weekend after a flurry of exhibition games this week. And Philadelphia Flyers with a great Game 1 win. And that brings us a chance now to show off our new feature with me and Bill Meltzer called Bubble Business. And the first guy who got some bubble business going the other night was Philadelphia Flyers. Our first guest, Scotty Laughton. Scotty, thanks for joining us, buddy. I know we want to take up a few minutes of your time. I know you're getting ready for the games this weekend, but me along with Bill, we were really, really impressed with the pace of that game. You had a beautiful game winner, that little soft, little toe drag going back to your junior days. But tell us about that game, the pace of that game, your expectations from what you saw in that game, and what your take is immediately of the bubble. You guys had a 30-minute bus ride today, too, from practice, so we want to hear about that. Go ahead, Scotty.
Yeah, it's been good so far, to be honest, and I think our tempo of practice has been really good here. Our camp was really good, and you don't really know what to expect. You take 3 or 4 months off. It's hard to train. If guys don't have home gyms, it's you're doing a lot of bodyweight stuff. So I thought our team came in really focused, really sharp, and I think it's definitely different. I think the times are different right now, and it's definitely weird not having fans at the building. But the way everything has been set up for us so far, it's been a really good experience, and we're trying to make the most of it for sure.
Just to follow up on that, and you mentioned the time off, and it's interesting because I guess in your own mind, or my mind anyway, it felt like the March date that the last game was against Boston. It felt like for me it was just 3 weeks ago. And there has been a real pause in the schedule, and now we're back at it. But in reality, that was a full off season, was it not? In terms of the way you look at it, 4 months, I mean, that's like getting to the second round, losing, and then getting to your summer going. How's it feel to you?
Yeah, it was as long as an off season, but it was definitely broken up. I was in Philly for a month there. I was waiting for a place actually back home to be ready. So was quarantining in Philly and doing it that way, and then got home and was doing mostly Zoom workouts with a couple buddies from home and doing a lot of bodyweight stuff. And then as things started to slowly open, was able to get in the gym and start training and skating. But I think it was just the unknown. I think usually when you finish your year, you have that 2 to 3 weeks off, and then you're right back into the gym, training, skating, and it feels like a normal summer. So I think it was a little more difficult to I don't know, get your head around it, but to be able to do the things you really wanted to do in the off season, but you try and make the most of it and be in the best shape you can.
Sure.
How's it working out in terms of, you're sharing ice at the training center with other teams and coordinating, those times, and also things that I think that sometimes fans don't think about, like team meetings or those at the hotel, and how's all that stuff working out?
Yeah, it's actually it's been a good setup so far. We have 4 different rooms in the practice facility, so we have enough room. The gym's all closed off, so you have your own space there, and they've done a really good job of making sure everyone's socially distant and staying safe. So I think it's kind of like a minor hockey tournament when you're a kid and you see all the guys you're playing against, but they've done a good job of ice sessions, and you have your time blocked off, and then you're able to go into the rink. So it's been pretty smooth so far, and as this thing gets deeper, I think we'll continue to get used to the new normal, and it'll be good for us.
Scotty, have you played any mini hockey in the hallways with the guys?
I know. We should have a mini hockey room set up here, but it would get too heated, I think, on our team. We have too many guys who are competitive, and guys would be checking each other into the wall. So I think it would be a tough one.
I do have a follow-up to that, though, and it is involving the players. And you're kind of a guy I got to know over the few years you've been here. You would have been, in my estimation, a guy who could have played in any area by your personality, the way you play on the ice. You have a lot of throwback in you, and I could tell that. That being said, how interesting is the dynamic with other teams in the hotel? Is there a sense of fraternizing with the other players? I mean, Boone Jenner, as Bill, we were talking earlier, you got a goal the other night, but how do you maintain the fact that you have to be competitive? You're trying to win a cup, yet also recognizing there's other guys in the hotel that never happens.
Yeah, it's a little weird for sure. I think you see a couple of your buddies throughout, and you kind of give them a little wave and a hello, but that's pretty much the extent of it. I think everyone's got their own dinners and everything set up as teams. So I know our game got a little chippy near the end with Pittsburgh, and that's going to happen. I think everyone's so competitive, and you want to win, and even if there's no fans or anything like that, the game's still going to be pretty chippy. So it's been a little different, but not a whole lot of I guess hanging out with other teams, or there hasn't been any of that, and we're pretty focused on winning.
Have you been watching the other teams' games, or are you planning to watch them now the exhibitions will be over and moving into the round robins qualifiers?
Yeah, once the exhibition is over, well, it is now. I'll definitely try and catch a couple games either at the hotel. We have a little lounge that we can go to and watch some hockey, so that'll be good. And it would just be nice to have it back on and be able to watch it at night before you go to bed. So it'll be good to see other teams playing and then be able to go out there and play.
Scotty, I was just thinking, you guys at the hotel, I mean, and I did an article this week, just came out today, actually, about Toronto and the difference. You're an Ontario guy, I'm an Ottawa guy, but what's it like being in the city of Toronto, where it's usually mayhem in April, May, and June if there's a play? Well, they haven't been anywhere, and Toronto hasn't seen anything in June in a long, long time, but we won't talk about that in their hockey team. But what is it like having it from a media circus to a bubble? It's got to be a weird feeling, right? Because Toronto is basically the mecca of hockey and the most media that we see during the year.
Yeah, it's been especially weird for me. I think I just actually got a new place, and you can see it from where we're staying. So it's a little weird for me. I got my girlfriend there, and my family's 20 minutes down the road. So usually when I'm coming back to Toronto, I see a bunch of family and friends, and they're all at the game. So I think that was kind of the first kind of wake-up call, going to a game and not being able to have family and friends there, just coming back for me. But it's definitely been a little different going to the rink, and you don't have the media and everyone there, and but it's good for us and the safety and everything like that. So it's definitely been a little weird, but you get through it, and it's just nice to, I guess, if you could pick a city for me, it would be here, just to be close to home if anything does happen.
Other than last change and the uniform you're wearing and the room you dress in, does otherwise home ice advantage lose all meaning in the bubble setting?
Yeah, I think so. I think last change could be huge for us going down the road and having guys we want to have matchups against. But yeah, there's not much of a difference here. They have 4 different rooms at the game rink, so you're in a different one every time, I guess, if you're home or away. So not much of a difference with the crowd atmosphere. We definitely miss our fans at home and being able to play in front of them. But I think the only thing is having that last change if you have a big series or something and you want to get your matchup.
Last one for me, Scotty, and it kind of pertains actually to the answer you just gave us, but it looks like they did a good job with the banners, trying to recreate at least something semblance of not seeing rows of stands in front of everybody. But that being said, is it a challenge, or will it be a challenge for you guys to find that energy? Because, you mentioned the fans in Philadelphia, an incredible record in Philadelphia this year. I would think, I'm trying to put myself in that place as well. It's going to be really important, I think, for the players to create that energy, is it not?
Yeah, I think so, and I think our team does a good job of that. We have a lot of older guys who have been around long enough who know what to expect, but at the same time, it's a different experience for everyone. And I thought we did a good job in the first game of controlling what we could, and I think the NHL has done a really good job of making it enjoyable to watch for the fans and good for us to play in. I think probably the weirdest part is warm up and not having anyone there for warm up and the music and all that. But we still have our goal song, just little stuff like that. I think throughout the tournament that the NHL has done to make you feel a little more at home, but definitely a weird feeling.
My last question. I know some of the guys have said this. Obviously, in an empty building, it makes the communications a lot easier. You know, if you're calling to your D, though, also the forechecker can hear you just as easy as you can hear your D. So, there's kind of push-pull with that?
Yeah, I think so. I think definitely easier probably for the D-man with the goalie calls, but at the same time, if you're one of the forecheckers going in, you can hear that too. So you try and pick up on it as a forechecker, but to be honest, during the exhibition game against Pittsburgh, it didn't feel that much different once you're into the game. You're pretty focused on what you can do that shift. So yeah, there definitely is some flaws to having it so quiet and guys being able to hear, but at the same time, you can probably get a little chirp in there a little quicker on the other team.
Well, this is Scotty. We really appreciate it. It's our first ever bubble business, Flyers in Toronto. You, by the way, have gone down in the record books as scoring the most beautiful exhibition game-winning goal in the month of July in Flyers history. Congratulations, my friend. We want to see some of those game winners in August, and that will really transform to something. Scotty, you can hit leave meeting when we're done. We thank you so much for your time. We wish you nothing but success in this tournament. And if you guys stay in that bubble long enough, we'd love to have you back on.
Thanks so much, Bundy and Bill. Really appreciate it.
Thank you, Scott.
Good luck.
Thanks, guys.
That is Scotty Laughton here with us. And Bill, you know what, really, I mean, just a terrific, he's become to me as important as almost any Flyer when it comes down to being a Mr. Everything type of player. The strides he's made this year, I don't think have caught up to the fan base yet and to the importance of them, except the real knowledgeable hockey people. He is a really dynamite person and a great hockey player. Very, very smart, underappreciated hockey player. I don't think that's going to go on for long.
No, absolutely not. I mean, and the ability that the Flyers have to move them from wing to center, play second line, third line, really wherever you need them. Every team needs those guys that you can plug anywhere in the lineup. He's become a tremendous penalty killer. And even relative, you know, he missed quite a few games in the first half of the season. He never skipped a beat. Offensively, even he had a pretty strong season. So he's definitely one of those unsung guys, you know, who got better and better as the season went along. And yeah, definitely, he's part of why the Flyers have such a deep team, in my opinion.
Yeah. He's a guy that, you know, from where I'm at, I see what he's doing. I mean, he's a guy you can just pencil into the lineup for another, hopefully 8 or 10 years, the way he's able to play and skate and stuff. So he's done a good job. I guess while we're here, I may as well just do a quick breakdown of Flyers. That is a 3 p.m. game on Sunday. That game will be on NBC National, Bill, but there's going to be a pre and a post game on NBC Sports Philadelphia. I'll be on there with Katie Emmer on Sunday. So it looks like it'll probably be Hart against Rask on Sunday. And it's funny. I mean, it ends up for the Flyers being the last 2 meaningful games they played or will have played after Sunday will be against the Boston Bruins. Your thoughts, quick take on that one, Bill?
Yeah, I mean, it was an interesting season series with them, and I know there was really no correlation between regular season series and playoffs, but I think the fact the Flyers beat them twice by shootout, but still beat them, you know, and every game really could have gone either which way. So the Flyers played them really tough this season. You know, and also the fact that Marchand might not be able to play. We'll see. He had to leave last night's game. You know, I mean, if he can play, he'll play. But if he's not available, that changes the dynamic too. So that's something to watch.
Yeah, and that'll certainly get a different look too. I mean, like John Carlson left the other night, and from the game in Washington, even though the Capitals had won with the game, Ovechkin had a pair of goals in. But you're going to see guys get nicked up. That's one thing for sure. And I joked about that with Scotty about that exhibition game. But the pace was so good that you're going to wonder. And then there was a game the other day that, you know, we were watching. It was a Dallas-Nashville game, and that looked like a July exhibition game.
It looked every bit like a July exhibition game. I mean, Dallas just could not move the puck. They couldn't get over the blue line. They got nothing going. And I mean, Seguin wasn't there, but it looked every bit like a July exhibition game. Whereas, as you said, particularly the first half of the game with the Flyers, I was actually surprised at the pace. Now, you know, as you got into the third period, particularly the last 8-10 minutes or whatever, you expect fatigue to set in. And it got a little sloppy late, and that's just normal. But but particularly for the time of year, and not even being a quote unquote meaningful game, I was pleasantly surprised.
Yeah, I was too. So that's the side of things to come, and I like the way the Flyers had kind of regrouped. It actually showed off a little bit of that chemistry they had, the way they moved the puck and defended at times. It wasn't a perfect body of work, but it was certainly, for a team trying to get themselves in range, it was a good sight to see. So that game will be Sunday. The first one in the round robin will be 3:00 against the Bruins. Bill, we'll be back next week with with more bubble business and anything else we can come up with. Actually thinking we may have Kevin Hayes next week, so he'll be a good one as well. We thank Scotty Laughton today. I thank the great Bill Meltzer for joining us. This is Bubble Business with Bundy and Bill. Bill, have a great weekend, buddy, and we'll catch up sometime. Take care, everybody.
Talk to you soon.